After performing the Nutcracker over 100 times at New York City Ballet, there's one question that people don't often ask out loud. Is Nutcracker overrated? Well, the answer is kind of complicated, and it actually depends on what you think Nutcracker is supposed to be. So let's be honest about what it is. Something I have said before is that Act 2 essentially is a recital in Candyland. The story really stops at intermission. Clara shows up to the Land of Sweets, sits on a throne, and watches a variety show. Then, of course, you have Waltz the Flowers and Sugar Plum, which are stunning. Obviously, they are the pinnacle of the ballet, but they really don't actually have anything to do with the story. And in some version, Clara is Sugar Plum, but that's really the only plot point there is at that point. The other uncomfortable truth, of course, is that the world is saturated with Nutcracker. I guarantee you there are probably 50 within 100 miles of you right now. So obviously it is very overdone at Christmas. So yes, if you are evaluating Nutcracker purely on sophistication or deep storytelling or some nuanced ballet you're going to see, Nutcracker is just not there. However, that is so not the point of it. What is it really? Nutcracker is not trying to be Giselle or Romeo and Juliet or some new choreographic work that you're going to see a world premiere of. Nutcracker is a holiday tradition. It's the ballet that brings families together into the theater, often to see the ballet for the very first time. And honestly, that matters more than we give it credit for. How many of us had Nutcracker as our first ballet? It was my first ballet I ever saw. And you think about being that child in the audience. Nutcracker is full of magic and whimsy and wonder and big mice and sugar and candy. That is the point of Nutcracker. It is often someone's introduction into ballet. I know the first time I saw it, that is what made me want to be a dancer. I sat in the audience thinking, I want to be the Sugar Plum Fairy. I want to be Clara. I want to do that someday. And even if you don't want to be a dancer, there's something just so special about Nutcracker that no other ballet has. Not only is Nutcracker usually someone's first ballet, but sometimes it's their only ballet. It's the one chance a ballet company has to get new people into the ballet. The dad who is normally not going to sit through a long 2-hour complicated evening, what is he gonna come see? Nutcracker. It's accessible. It's magical. It's a fairyland. And because the story is not complicated, it's really easy to understand. You don't need to sit there and read the program for 20 minutes before the ballet even starts. It doesn't require you to know anything about ballet to enjoy it. And honestly, that is invaluable. Nutcracker does something that no other ballet can. It fills the theater. Something that most people don't realize is that ballet companies survive on Nutcracker. For most ballet companies, Nutcracker is 50% of the annual budget. And we were made as dancers to know this fact. Nutcracker is vital for a company's success because you are going to sell it out every single year, especially for those of us in New York City Ballet. It was a tourist destination. People come to New York to see the Rockettes, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and New York City Ballet do the Nutcracker at Christmas. And for smaller ballet companies, it is usually maybe even 70 to 80% of their annual revenue is Nutcracker. December is when ballet companies make their money. If Nutcracker does well, it then allows a company to do a different full length in March or bring in a choreographer to do a new work in May. Those particular programs don't make ballet companies money. What does are Nutcracker and any other big classic full lengths. But there is something about the tradition and knowing it's coming back every year that really, really helps ballet companies. Ballet itself could not survive without Nutcracker. So when people ask us, why do you guys do Nutcracker every single year? That is why. It keeps the company going and lets the art form continue. Okay, so let's now talk about what Nutcracker does brilliantly and what it gets right, because there is a reason it has endured for over a century. First of all, Tchaikovsky's score is a masterpiece, and you do not need to be a dancer to identify this score. Think about it. How many times have you been in the mall or been in, the grocery store and you hear the Sugar Plum Fairy solo or Mirlitons or Waltz of the Flowers? Everybody knows this music. Even if they don't know what it's from, they've heard it. It's been in commercials. It is everywhere. It is an undeniable score, and actually it is a brilliant score. There are some stunning pieces in this ballet. A score that has lasted for that long. Tchaikovsky literally created something that is now in our culture. Secondly, you have these stunning pieces within it. For example, what comes to mind for New York City Ballet's version is a snow scene. Snow scene is an actual masterpiece, and I did deconstruct it if you want to go watch why it is a masterpiece. I will link that in a card. Sugar Plum Parada, iconic. No matter what version it is, there is something just so special and beautiful about it. Waltz of the Flowers. So within this structure, and even though I joke it's a recital in Candyland, you have these pieces that stand the test of time, that are absolutely brilliant, and that are true works of art within this whole ballet. Another thing about Nutcracker is it gives everyone something to do, from like even the kids to the apprentices, to the core members, to the soloists, to the principals. It is a ballet everyone can be involved in. And it's probably the only ballet that goes all year in many companies that everyone is involved in. When you have that amount of children involved, when you have that amount of dancers involved, not only is it magical within the company, but it's magical in the audience. And think about it. If every child brings 4 people to come see them in Nutcracker, fills the seats, helps the ballet company out. But it really allows companies to give people chances. I know at New York City Ballet, Nutcracker was where they would throw us bones and like, see if you could survive, see if you can handle it. Can you handle dewdrop? Can you handle marzipan or candy cane or sugar plum? It is often the ballet where someone will get their first big opportunity and can launch a dancer's career. When you have that many performances of something, it allows opportunities for dancers that don't come up when, say, you're doing a 3-show run of something. All the principals have to get on, all the soloists have to get on. But when you have 50-something performances of Nutcracker, core members can do sugar plums because the principals don't want to do them all. Fourthly, it just works. You don't ever leave Nutcracker miserable. People leave smiling, people leave happy, people leave like they have just been transported somewhere. It kind of takes you out of the realm of reality of whatever's happening in your own life. And you get to go to Candyland for 2 hours. Well, half. That is what ballet is supposed to do. Nutcracker brings new people into the ballet, opens them up to this incredible art form, and everybody leaves smiling and happy. That's not overrated. That is extremely successful. So here's the final take. Nutcracker is not overrated if you know what it's for. It's not trying to be the most sophisticated ballet ever made. It's not competing for the most complex narrative Shakespearean drama. It's a holiday spectacle. It's a family tradition. It is something that brings people into this art form who probably would never have come to see a performance before. And for ballet companies, it keeps the lights on all year. Yes, the story is very simple, but that's the brilliance of it. You really don't need any preconceived ideas of what ballet is to come see the Nutcracker. And when we say it's oversaturated, that is what is also so great. The fact that there are 50 Nutcrackers within 100 miles of you means everybody can go see it. No, you don't have to go to New York to see New York City Ballet or go to ABT or the Bolshoi or PNB or any even professional company. You can go to your local Nutcracker, support your local arts without ever having to leave your hometown. And that is what's also so brilliant. So yeah, everybody does it, but what a great thing. Nutcracker is so not overrated because it does what it's designed to do. Create memories, bring families together, give dancers opportunities, fund the art form, get people into the theater, and just create holiday magic. And for most of us, it's the ballet that made us fall in love with ballet. It was our first thing we ever saw, and I will never forget that. Now, having said all that, if I never have to do 8 shows a week for something for 6 weeks ever again in my life, I'll be just fine. Props to those of you on Broadway who do that for years. But seriously, the next time someone asks you, what's the deal with Nutcracker? Is it overrated? Tell them all of this. No, it is exactly what it's supposed to be. So what do you guys think? Is it overrated? Is it overdone? What's your favorite version? Let me know in the comments. Last year I went through and deconstructed New York City Ballet's entire Nutcracker. I will link that playlist for you. If you missed the video about 𝐵𝐴𝐿 𝐿 𝐿 𝐶 Serenade, it's right there. You can click it to watch. Love you guys so much, and I will see you next time.